Welcome to my studio.
Oh, I love it.
Another one of my happy places.
Oh my goodness. Oh, first of all, this is beautiful. And second, I wish they could smell it. Wow.
Thank you. I love it over here.
Oh my gosh. Your house and farm is gorgeous, but I'm gonna tell you, I wouldn't want to leave here.
I don't leave here very often.
God, it's beautiful for real.
Thank you. Thank you. This place makes my heart happy for sure. I started off with 4 cents of soap.
Yeah.
And I think now I have about 29.
29.
Something like that. Plus the seasonal ones that I just added with the Grinch and
Wow.
and this was fun too. One of the trees I decided to add some ornaments to. So
That is so cute. And that smells so
Oh, I
good.
love that smell. Really love that smell. And
So you use essential oils for your fragrances?
I do some fragrance oils and some essential oils, and sometimes I blend them together.
Mm-hmm.
But primarily it's essential oils. Some essential oils don't hold in soap as well as others.
Mm-hmm.
So if you blend it with a fragrance oil, then they bond together. The molecules will bond together better, and you'll have a scent that sticks more. Because if you want to get it, and lavender is a pure essential oil, but for example, if you wanted a lavender soap and you bought a lavender soap, and you kept that soap for, say, 6 months, and all of a sudden it doesn't smell like anything anymore because it's just all dissipated. Sometimes you can bond it, like the lavender and fig is a combination of lavender essential oil and a fig fragrance oil, and put those together so that you have that floral and sweet smell.
Okay.
So that one. But yeah, your soap making, mostly I use all goat's milk. And the only one that is different is the beer soap. So the beer soap is made actually with beer as my liquid.
Really?
You can make soap with any liquid. So you could use Kool-Aid if you wanted to.
Uh-huh.
Some are better than others, obviously. Goat's
Yeah.
milk is top notch. But beer is also really good for your skin. So and it creates a really great lather. And so that's stuff, and then I make it fun by trying to make it look like the beer.
I didn't know beer was good for your skin.
It is very good for your skin.
Okay.
It's very good for your skin. Then this one is goat's milk too, but I also add pine tar to it. And the pine tar is good for skin conditions, rashes, eczema, and it's also been told that it can help with drying up poison oak.
Okay.
Rashes like that.
Okay.
This one is fun. I'll show you the sample that I've got laying out. I sent this one with a combination of basil, sage, and mint, but I call it off the beaten path because to me it looks like a little cobblestone drive.
It does.
But when I make soap, I bevel the edges so that the edges are kind of more contoured and not as square.
Uh-huh.
And so I end up with a lot of soap shreds, like you would have, like I use a potato peeler
Yeah.
to cut the edges down. So I end up with a lot of those shreds of soap. And then sometimes I have the end pieces, and I call that my ugly soap, my little slivers that I cut off the end, and I'll chunk them up into different sizes and shapes. And I melt them all back down in a crock pot and put them back in my mold. And this one I call Off the Beaten Path. And it's basically, it's what's called rebatch soap, and it's hot processed. So it's in a crock pot and it cooks back down, but I don't waste anything.
That's
That way
awesome.
I'm using the soap again and creating a new soap out of.
Yeah. And it's pretty.
And it's pretty, yeah.
Creating
I love
art.
doing that.
Art out of soap.
Yes. Let's see. This one has pumice powder in it. So my soap on a rope. So you have to be of a certain age to understand soap on a rope.
Yeah.
But that's, I got pumice powder in there. I was trying to replace the Gojo that Chip used at the shop after he would change the oil or something. Have things have greasy hands. And just trying to give him a good grit. It's got pumice powder and activated charcoal and alkanet root powder. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in there scrubby wise. Just to give it a good exfoliant.
Yeah.
So-
I need some of that for
That's
real.
it. And I use a eucalyptus and mint in that one.
Jean's working on tractors and, different things
Right.
like that. And just,
Then you can, and even gardening. If you're gardening,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can, just the good scrub. And then this one is a sea salt and activated charcoal soap. So that's what I use, pink Himalayan sea salt in the soap. And then I also swirl in the activated charcoal. And I play around with different colors on that too.
Oh, wow.
So, isn't that nice?
That is very nice. That is very
And
cool.
Let's see if there's. This one's another one that uses activated charcoal, and it's a great facial soap or shaving soap. But I use tea tree oil in that one with activated charcoal. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
lots of fun. I had a book, one of my soap making books that the author, and I can't call her name right now, but she did a book on liquid soap making, and she said the possibilities are endless, and it's difficult to find a reasonable stopping place. So
you experienced that, yeah.
That's exactly what I've done. The soaps that I have that are specific for faces are my baby soap, my shaving soap, which are actually the same soaps, just with a different. My shaving soap has a mustache stamp, and my baby soap has a stork stamp, but it's the same recipe because it's for super sensitive skin. And then the other one is the tea tree and lemongrass soap that is a whole different recipe than the rest of my soaps, and it has avocado in it.
Okay.
And avocado, it's just better for your face. So those are the three, and then I also have one person who orders the sea salt soap by the loaf. He orders a whole batch of it at a time, and that's all he uses.
On his face.
That's all he uses is that for his face.
Huh.
So everybody's different. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
But that one is my #1 best-selling facial soap.
All right, I'm gonna
That
try
one is.
that. Oh, those are
Yeah,
cute.
sweet. That was fun to make.
What are those fragrances?
Apples.
Apples, of course.
Of course.
Life is short. Use pretty soap. I did see that. That is
And
gorgeous.
then those are the felted soaps that I've just gotten into doing.
You
So
were
they're-
saying that, and
they're
I have
felted.
never
This one was last night's TV project while I was watching.
really. So tell me about that.
Right, you take the soap. So the soap it's just a bar of soap inside, and I do a wet felting to do a base layer. But you do your base layer of wet felting until you have that bar completely covered, and then the felting process, it changes the wool. It starts with wool roving, and by the friction going back and forth, and it's onto the soap, it adheres to the soap and it felts together so that the fibers bind together and it shrinks down onto the soap. Then I can take the needle felting and do whatever design I want to do onto it.
Gosh.
So yeah, this probably took me 2 hours.
Really?
I mean, I was watching TV, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're fun. I've had fun playing with the Grinch.
The Grinch. That's
The
good
little
Christmas.
Grinch. It's good for Christmas and just all kinds of fun stuff. This one is also a fun Grinch.
Aww.
But yeah.
I love this one.
Isn't that nice? That's fun too. And I never know where they're going when I first start with them. And somebody asked me at the festival this weekend. That was what I was demonstrating. And somebody was watching me do it and said, "How do you know when you're finished?"
Yeah,
So,
really.
when I put it in the plastic bag, and I'm done. So that's it.
Are you making these bath salts too? I didn't realize you made bath salt.
Yeah.
Cool. So what's in here?
It's a combination of Epsom salts, sea salts, like Himalayan pink sea salts, and then you see the black. I also use a black sea salt, and I just love the look that it gives to it. So I'm mixing in the black sea salts. These are the bottles that my essential oils come in. So once I have used the essential oil, I can add the salt, and it absorbs what's left of that, and it also gives it it's nice to have a way to reuse. It's like we talk about repurposing things.
Oh, yeah.
Then I can reuse those bottles.
And they're so pretty.
And they're pretty.
They are. And you're making these? Lip balms?
Those are my little lip shimmers, so they have a little bit of a color to them, but not too much.
Nice.
I do.
Wow.
About 5 different flavors of those. And then 2, I do a vanilla mint and a sweet orange on the lip balms. The pottery is from my friend Becky Blaylock, has Earthquake Pottery, and she does my shaving mugs and my soap dishes.
So cute.
And it's a fun little collaboration with her. She does such a great job.
And you helped her design these?
I did. She called me one day to come over and talk about soap dishes, and that was several years ago. So I went to her studio and we played around with different ideas. The Ukrainian soaps were an idea that I had back in, I think it was in March of this year. And I decided that I wanted to make a Ukrainian flag soap and put it out there as a fundraiser to send to care.org, to their Ukrainian crisis fund.
Awesome.
And I made 100 bars of soap and made a Facebook post after I had them. They weren't even quite ready yet, but I just had them where I wanted to put them out there. I've got a good friend who makes my molds, my stamps rather, who did the stamp for me, and got them on the shelf, and I got excited about it. And I made a social media post about them, and that post got picked up and shared and shared and shared and shared and shared, and then the local newspaper shared the information. And I ended up shipping this soap literally all over the country.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't have a clue when I started doing this. I thought I'm either going to use Ukrainian flag soap for the rest of my life because I'm going to have all these bars, or I'm going to make some more. And I think since then I've made 15 or 16 more batches of it.
Oh, wow.
And these soaps, I'm selling these at $10 a piece, and 100% of the profits go to care.org. And to date, we have donated $3,300.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
So I've been blown away by the...
that is
we call
awesome.
it Soap for Hope. And it has blown my mind at how generous people are. So, in fact, at the weekend show that I was at in Tuscaloosa this past weekend, the lady that bought the first 10 bars came by my table.
Oh, wow.
And I told her about how far it had gone. And I said, I think about you every time because you purchased, you were my first customer.
That is awesome.
And you bought 10 bars, and that got it rolling.
That
and
is
I found
incredible.
Myself, by the end of that week, I had made 3 or 4 more batches to get them on the shelf.
Oh my gosh, that is incredible.
It's been mind-blowing.
So if somebody wants to participate in that, they can do it on your website. Oh my gosh, that is wonderful.
And each package includes a prayer for Ukraine.
So it's evolved from soaps to lotions, huh?
Yeah, the first time I made lotion, it was a little bit scary actually process because I didn't know what I was doing, and I was looking at putting milk in a skin cream. Putting milk in my soap is a whole different story because soap cooks itself. It's a chemical process that it's cooking the soap. So I'm not worried about the raw milk in your soap or anything happening.
Okay.
Lotion is a suspension, so it's milk.
Yeah.
Nobody wants milk that's rotten and sour. And
No.
Nobody wants to smell that, much less rub it on your skin.
No, I don't think so.
So my mama was nice enough to be my guinea pig when I first started making soap. And I made a couple of batches with water and a couple of batches with soap. Not soap, I'm sorry, milk. to try to determine the difference and if it was worth the trouble and all that, but it turns out it was. But I'm really proud of this because it is my own recipe from making soaps over the years and just having my hands in the different butters and oils that I use. And my primary things that I use in my soaps are olive oil, coconut oil, and shea butter. Those are my 3 number 1 ingredients. I use avocado butter in the one that's so good for your face, the tea tree and lemongrass soap, and I love avocado butter. I don't love the way shea butter feels on my hands over time because it feels thick, and to me personally, I don't love olive oil on my skin because it feels slippery, and so I decided to look at the things that I did love, the way it felt when I was dipping it out, you know, to make whatever I'm making, whichever soap, and I combined those that I loved and formulated a recipe. So this one has cocoa butter, which I love, cocoa butter, avocado oil, sweet almond oil, and aloe oil. Those are the ingredients in there along with the milk.
Right.
And then in order to make it into a lotion, otherwise it would just completely separate back out into your layers.
Yeah.
To make it into a lotion, you add an emulsifying wax and stearic acid, which are both plant-based.
Okay. And
because it is a suspension that involves a liquid and an oil, I use a light preservative.
Okay.
And it's the only product that I use a preservative in, but the preservative is a formaldehyde-free. Yeah, you have to say that, which is crazy. But I think about it, formaldehyde is a preservative.
Yeah, it's a preservative.
So it's formaldehyde-free and it's paraben-free. And it's a low-temperature preservative, and it's used at a rate of about 1% or less. So it's not very much, but it's enough to keep my milk from going rancid. But I do pasteurize my milk because it is fresh milk from the goats. So I do a home pasteurization method for that.
Wow.
Before I turn it into the lotion too, just to be covering all my bases. Because while you want those good probiotics and good gut health in your raw milk when you're drinking it,
not so much on your hands and in your lotion. Okay.
So, yeah, keeping it simple and putting together what I like, and it's not greasy, which is something that I never liked lotion because it was just, I didn't want it on my skin because it was just slippery.
Yeah.
And you don't get that with this lotion.
No, you don't.
You can use it on your face, you can use it all over.
It's really good lotion. It really is. I do love it.
Thank you.
I always got it at Petals.
Yeah.
And I still get it at Petals.
Yeah.
But today I'm getting it here.
Good.
At the very source. Yes.
And you met the goats.
Yes. That even makes it even better, right?
Does.
It really does,
yes.
to me. Very cool.
And I also, with that, I started off with only honey, almond, and lemongrass. Those were my 2 scents. And then I branched out to honey, almond, lemongrass. And so many people said, do you have lavender? Do you have lavender? So I put together a chamomile and lavender. And then somebody, I have a hard time turning people down. And somebody said, oh, you should do this in a vanilla and mint. And I was like, okay, well, I'll make you some. How much? I can make 1 small batch for you. And I really liked it. So I added that one to my line, and somebody else saw the vanilla. It was on a Facebook post, I think, and said, oh, what about patchouli? And I thought, oh, I like patchouli. And then grapefruit, because grapefruit makes me happy. But yeah, so now you can see, just like
You
the
got
soaps.
all, I know, it just grows, don't it?
Branched out to 7. And of course, the unscented soap kind of smells a little bit like, not soap, lotion, kind of smells a little bit like cocoa butter, kind of like chocolate because it has cocoa butter in it.
How could somebody buy some of your products if they wanted to?
If they're local, I have several stores in this area, in the Selma area. And if not, I have a website. So it's just simplymakingit.com and an Etsy page of the same name.
If people happen to be local or in the area, can they come to your shop and shop?
I always enjoy it. I always appreciate a phone call or a text message first.
Okay.
Just to make sure I'm here, because on the farm, you never know what's going to happen.
You don't.
Just never know.
They can find your number on your website.
On the website.
Okay, cool.
Or Facebook page or all that.
Awesome.
Okay, so I paint the paper, the watercolor paper, with the cyanotype chemicals. And then I do that in a dark room because as soon as it's exposed to light, it starts to process. So I put the leaves or whatever I want to put on top. Then I put another piece of glass or a piece of glass on top of this, and then I put it out into the sun. And the sun will cause the chemical, whatever's exposed to the sun will process into this nice blue color, and whatever's colored will not expose.
That is wild, isn't it?
It's really crazy. Leave it out there for as long as you want to leave it, and when you bring it in, you rinse it off, rinse all the chemicals that are left on the paper, rinse it off, and then you wash it in a bath, just like if you're in a dark room doing a photograph. You wash it in a bath of a solution of water and hydrogen peroxide.
Wow.
And that processes it into this beautiful blue. And
wow.
So then I hang it up and let it dry, and there it is. And then if you add, you can change the process up to a wet cyanotype. I'll use this one. So wet cyanotype does the same thing, except that you take, instead of having your chemicals and letting them dry on the paper before you do everything, you take your paper, treat it like you normally would, and let it dry. And then once it's dry, you spritz it again. And what I used here was a combination of water and vinegar, white vinegar. And I spritzed the page and got it nice and wet. Then I put my botanicals down on there. And also I sprinkled turmeric in it. Some soap bubbles are in there.
Is this the turmeric?
That's the turmeric. That's the turmeric. And if you look at this one, you can see where the soap bubbles were all like splattered around in here.
Yeah.
I think I actually used some baking soda, maybe a little citric acid, just whatever I had in the cabinets that I wanted to play with.
Wow.
Because when it's wet, your chemical reaction changes with that. And the vinegar, put your glass on top.
How fun.
Put it out in the sun, and you continue to get the different colors. And then this one's processed the same way in the water and hydrogen peroxide solution.
Cool.
And it's magical.
Fun. I would like to do that.
So
I would like to try that. That's pretty cool.
It's really a lot of fun. And these were the dry, so you can see they're just the blue and white, and you don't get those extra colors. But I also like that.
Yeah, I do too. So this is where the magic happens in here.
This is it. Yes. All right. So this is where I create my soaps. And I have areas where I can keep all my buckets of oils and butters, and olive oil is in, got the big 55-gallon drums of olive oil in the other room. And the soap making process is basically where I take my sodium hydroxide, known as lye, which is in the bottom big bucket, and I combine it with my goat's milk. And you do that, you glove up and cover your eyes and do all the safety precautions for that. And that's your base. That's what makes it soap. And I have people all the time who say, do you make lye soap? Do you make lye soap?
Yeah.
Well, there is no soap without lye. So
Yeah.
all soap is lye soap.
Okay.
And the term lye soap, I think, comes from the old grandma's lye soap. You know? And back then, when they were making soap, it would be made on the day that they processed their pigs, right? So you have all this lard.
Yeah.
And so they have it melted down, and you've got a homemade lye that they would make, and lye is sodium hydroxide, and it's also referred to as caustic soda or potash, I think. But regardless, it's a process of making it involves water filtered through wood ash. So anyway, everything was homemade.
Yeah.
Everything was homemade. So there wasn't really a lot of consistency to the portions. And I'm talking about it like I was there. I wasn't there. But regardless, the portion of lye compared to the amounts of fats and butters, or in their case, lard, would be not necessarily what I'm using. So the potency of the soap would be a lot harsher in a lot of cases, and that's where people get the idea that lye soap is harsh on your skin.
Okay.
So, and again, it's not lye soap; it's soap. And during the soap making process, all of the sodium hydroxide that you put in there is consumed. It's not in there anymore. When you use this bar soap, there's no lye in this soap. It's gone.
It's gone. Okay.
So it's part of the making process, but it's been transformed rather, into this bar of soap to keep it at a simplistic level of understanding. So yes, lye went into this bar, but it's not going to come out of this bar onto your skin.
Okay.
You're not going to get a harshness from that. And this is loofah off of the vines we saw in the garden.
Yeah.
And this is what's inside the loofah. And some of these are kind of discolored that I won't use in my soap, but you can take and peel the outer layer off of them to get down to what's inside. And then in the case of this, we have a freeze coming up this week, which is unusually early.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to have to process these while they're still green. So what I'll do is crack it open and then peel the outside layer off and squeeze out all the insides, and then rinse it really well and dip it in a light solution of, like seriously light solution of bleach and water. And that just keeps any bacteria or anything from growing inside of there. So you don't want any of that in your soap.
Yeah.
But the drawback to having to harvest it while it's green is that the seeds are not mature, so I can't
reuse them.
Can't save my seeds.
Yeah.
But I do have plenty of seeds.
Yeah.
And all the other ones that I've already harvested, so.
And it don't take many.
No. You are right about that. So what I do is, while the soap is still fluid, I put my loofah down in here, pour the fluid soap on top of it, and then let it harden inside this tube. And then the next day I can come in and pull it back out of there. And then when I cut it in slices, it's this way. So every bar of soap has
loofah in
it, so that you're able to use that as your
scrubber.
Exfoliant. Yeah.
Yep.
I love shipping orders.
Do you?
It's a happy. It just makes me happy, and I put a personal note in every one of them.
Oh
and
my
I told
goodness.
Chip one day, I said, I find that when I write those notes, I can't write a note without smiling.
Oh.
I don't know these people. Most of them, I don't know them, but still, when you write a little thank you note.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to buy this soap, and I appreciate that they do. But they're supporting a local or a home-based business, and they're obviously care about what they're putting on their skin by ordering the soap and not just buying it at the big box stores. But it always makes me happy. So every note that I write is a sincere note. But I do ship through USPS and put the boxes together, usually the same day that the order is made. Mother's Day, VK made me a map so I could mark where all my shipments have gone.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't keep up with it perfectly, but it has, I think I have like 7 states left that I haven't shipped to as well.
In what states are those?
Let's see. Nevada.
Yep, Nevada.
Maine is one.
Okay.
Wyoming. I haven't sent to Hawaii.
No Hawaii yet?
Hawaii yet.
That is neat. Okay, so if you're out there and you're in any of these other states we just mentioned, go order some soap or lotion or some product from Simply Making It so that she can mark her territory here.
That's right.
That's awesome. That is fun.
I take a lot of pride in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I appreciate every single order for sure.
And I can tell how much you love it.
I do love it.
When we drove up here and you got out of your car and you were like, go through the front door. It's so cute. Like your whole face just lit up.
I do love it here.
I can just tell how passionate you are about this.
I really do have a lot of happy places.
Well, if you guys would like to purchase any of Laura's products, her Simply Making It products, go to her website, simplymakingit.com. It's very simple. Go check it out and support her and order some of her products, because really they really are good. I've been using them for, I don't know, however long you've had them in petals.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been using them ever since you put them in this. Before that.
Probably before
I think
that.
before that, when I came here, God knows you long ago.
I was going to say, it's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
It has.
That's a cool car.
We're on a trip today.
Where y'all headed?
This is an official episode of the Truck Stop Chicken Tour. We're off to get some hot wings.
Oh, wow. Where are you going today?
Down to May's Country Store in Marion Junction.
Okay, cool.
The best hot wings ever to be found served in a pizza box. High quality. They know what they're doing down there.
That sounds good.
Truck Stop Chicken Tour is part of Ulysses Acres on the field trip on the road, and we are exploring all the truck stops around the Selma, Marion area right now.
Cool.
Because we believe that there is better chicken in our truck stops right here in central Alabama than the finest eateries in the world. And we're on a mission to explore that.
Very cool. Very cool. And you've got a YouTube channel about it, huh?
We have a YouTube channel about the farm, and this is a section of the YouTube. This is a show within the YouTube channel. So the Truck Stop Chicken Tour is its own entity.
Okay,
But
cool.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
exciting.
And this car you mentioned is the official Truck Stop Chicken Tour vehicle.
And I love it.
We look forward to having you as a guest one day.
Oh, to
So
come
let
eat
me-
chicken with you?
Let me ask you first, what is your favorite truck stop chicken place?
I really don't eat truck stop
What's your
chicken.
favorite chicken place? Let's not,
It's a whole new world.
I guess it doesn't have to be a truck stop. Where's your
Okay.
favorite chicken place?
Orville Farmers Market.
Okay, see
That is my favorite fried chicken ever. She makes the best fried chicken, I think.
we've heard that from multiple people and have already discussed an episode where we go there.
They call it Southern Fried Chicken every single day.
Yep.
So there's not a bad day. And that is going to be, we're planning on that to be episode 3 or 4.
Okay.
And it's going to be our first celebrity guest too.
All right.
First of many.
Guest on the chicken tour.
Oh, I would love to go.
Oh yeah.
How can we find you? How can people find you and follow y'all on this journey?
If you search YouTube for Ulysses Acres, you'll find the Ulysses Acres Farm primary YouTube channel. And the Truck Stop Chicken Tour is a playlist on that channel. Or if you search Truck Stop Chicken Alabama, turns out there's only one result.
Okay. I can't believe that.
That's a
Now
good
that's
half
crazy. That's
market.
a shame.
I guarantee you, if you search Truck Stop Chicken Tour, you'll find us.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll put a link in the description of this video so they can find you easy.
Appreciate
Great.
that.
Yeah. Very
Thank
cool.
you so much.
Y'all have fun.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the tour of Laura's studio. It's very cool. Thank you, Laura, for sharing with us.
Thank you.
Taking the time to walk us through the studio and telling us about the soap. I didn't know all of that, the science and all of the in-depth stuff of making the soap and even the history of it.
Right.
That
right.
was really cool. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Well, thank you for letting me.
Yeah.
I enjoy talking about it.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. God bless you, and I will see you on the next video.